brief history of the French Rococo period. The French Rococo period started in a little country called France. Now, before the French Rococo period started, it was ruled by King Louis the 14th. Look how miserable he looked. And then he died, and he was taken over by King Louis the 15th. Not his son, but his grandson. And he was like, you know what? I just want to have fun. I want to party. And then all the nobles were like, yeah, we want to party too. And so they did. And they partied a lot. And they had fun. But not everyone partied. Only the rich. All the peasants were like. And while they partied and the peasants suffered, they sat there and they looked at all these paintings that they made. And all the paintings around, and they were like, we don't like that Baroque style, all these dark colors. And you know what? We got a new king. We're cool. We're awesome. We're going to do awesome things. And we're going to make our own awesome artwork. And so they did. And it started with a painting called De la Surprise by Jean-Antoine Watteau. It was done in 1718. And as you can see, contrast from the first painting, this one has a lot more movement, brighter colors because they were more flamboyant because of everything, because they were like, we're cool, we're awesome, and we're going to do whatever we want. And so they did. And you have here, as you can see, something that wasn't done before. You have people kissing because they were partiers and they knew how to party. And then they decided, well, we're making awesome paintings, we're doing cool stuff, let's make it to our architecture. And so they made awesome architecture on the outside of their buildings. And they sat there and they enjoyed it. And they tried to be super fancy. Kind of like that person on your block that has that really overdone Christmas house. You know who I'm talking about? The guy that tries to outdo every single person on your block for no reason. But they sat there and they're like, well, we got these awesome buildings. Why don't we can't have just awesome buildings. We got to have awesome stuff on the inside too. And so they did. And they put awesome interior architecture in there too. They had these extravagant curves, they had all these seashells, and they even had paintings on the wall. Not on canvases, on the wall. They were that fancy. They're like, we don't have to buy canvases. We'll just make them paint it in our house. Now, while they were living in these amazing houses, the peasants weren't. They were living in shacks. And they were having a horrible time. And tensions were brewing. And then their art started getting more crazy. And crazy. And crazy. And crazy. And crazy. And crazy. Until we get here. To the Swing by Fragonard. Done in 1767. And as you can see from the previous paintings, this one has advanced with more curves, flowy clothes, bright colors, exciting sexual fantasies. You have a woman swinging, kicking her shoe off, lifting her dress as the man down below hides and stares up. A very sexual themed painting that was very prevalent at the time of the French Rococo period. And all the peasants were like, well, why don't we get to enjoy any of that stuff? That's not cool. And on the other side of the world during this time, as the peasants suffered, there's an amazing historical event called the American Revolution. And this gave the French peasants an idea. Well, if they can do it, then we can do it too. And so they did. Heads began to roll right off the guillotine block into everyone's cheering hands. And then once they cut everyone's heads off that was rich and looked down on them, they went and raided everyone's house and took every single thing they could. The end of French Rococo period. Brief history.